Hey, what's up? So today we're going to be talking about out-of-drive obedience versus in-drive obedience. Out-of-drive obedience is basically you're not using any treats or toys to entice the dog to do certain behavior once the dog's already learned the behavior, right? Of course, you use treats and balls and things like that whenever the dog is learning the behavior to shape the behavior, and leash pressure, things like that, right? In-drive obedience is whenever you're using all that stuff, right, to get the dog to do what you want it to do. And in both in out of drive and in drive obedience, you're still rewarding them, right? So with out of drive obedience, you're rewarding them with just your body language, your love, your voice tone, and things like that. With in drive, you're obviously rewarding them with treats and things like that, right? So for me, there's a time and place for everything. So once the dog's already learned the behavior, for me personally, there's no reason why every single session, why I should always use treats. The dog should be able to work for me, and it should be able to do it regardless if I'm rewarding it or not. Regardless if I'm rewarding it or not. And once you get to that point where the dog stops wanting to do that requested behavior and things like that, that's the key time to get the dog to do that behavior, because once it understands like, hey, I have to do this regardless, it's going to want to do it more. Like, it's going to do it faster, it's going to want to do it more, and it's communicating to the dog like, hey, who's in charge and who's not in charge. And this pays dividends later on whenever you're in real life, out of your home or out of the training facility and things like that. When the dog is actually working for you, you can see how a dog's trained if you have the right eye and the right if you know what you're looking for, basically. Out in public and stuff like that, when people are training their dogs or working with their dogs, or at the dog park, wherever you see the dogs at, right? In drive obedience, it's really good too, because it reinforces the behavior, and it's more fun for the dog. So the dog needs to understand like, hey, it needs to have sessions where it's having fun, and then when it's serious, because the mixture is key for me, because I want the dog to enjoy working for me. All in all, that's really it. And like, hey, if you do this, we don't have to have any sticky issues where I have to correct you or anything like that. So the dog's more likely to do the behavior 100% more likely to do the behavior, like more percentage of the time, right? So that's a little bit of old school mixed with a little new school. If you're adding in